Hello students, welcome to the biology class of 7. Today we are going to start a new chapter of annual course. But before we start a new chapter, let's have some warm-up discussion. Dear students, we all know that transport means to carry things from one place to another. In biology, transport is a life process in which a material absorbed or made in one part of the body of an organism is carried to other parts in its body. Here, life process means the process which is occurring in our body for sustenance of life. All the living organisms need a transport system to supply them with food, water and oxygen and to carry away the harmful waste materials produced in their bodies. Both animals and plants have their own transport systems for transporting materials within their body. So, the name of the chapter which we are going to start is Transport in Animals and Plants, and we will learn about the transport system in animals and plants. Let us discuss the transport system in animals first. The main transport system in human beings is the blood circulatory system, which is commonly known as just circulatory system. In the circulatory system, blood carries digested food, water, and oxygen to all the parts of the body. It also takes away the waste materials like carbon dioxide made in the body cells. Thus, the blood circulatory system makes food, water, and oxygen available to every part of the body and helps in removing waste materials of the body like carbon dioxide, etc. The human circulatory system consists of the heart, blood vessels, that is arteries, veins, capillaries and blood. We will now describe all the parts of the circulatory system in detail one by one. Let us start with blood. Now, what is blood? Blood is a red colored liquid which flows in blood vessels and circulates in our body. It consists of 4 components: plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Blood is a liquid called plasma with red blood cells, white cells and platelets floating in it. We will now describe all the 4 components of blood and their functions in somewhat detail. The liquid part of blood is called plasma. Plasma is a pale yellow sticky liquid. It is 90% water and 3.5% common salt. Now, what is the function of plasma? Plasma carries water and dissolved substances such as digested food and waste products from one part to another part in the body. Now, red blood cells. Red blood cells are red in color due to the presence of a red pigment called hemoglobin inside them. Red blood cells are carriers of oxygen. Therefore, what is the function of the red blood cells? Red blood cells carry oxygen from the lungs to all the cells of the body. It is actually the hemoglobin present in red blood cells which carries oxygen in the body. It is the presence of hemoglobin which makes the blood appear red. Now, the white blood cells. The white blood cells fight infection and protect us from disease. This is because white blood cells help to fight against germs which may enter our bodies and cause diseases. Some white blood cells can eat up the germs like bacteria which cause diseases. Other white blood cells make chemicals known as antibodies to fight against infection. White blood cells are much smaller in number than red blood cells. Now come to platelets. Platelets are the tiny fragments of special cells formed in the bone marrow. Platelets help in the clotting of blood in a cut or wound. Here clotting of blood means making the lump of blood. Okay, making the blood semi-solid. So when does this clotting of blood occurs? When a cut or wound starts bleeding, then platelets clot the blood, that is make the blood semi-solid, due to which further bleeding stops. The blood clot which stops bleeding is formed due to the presence of the cells called platelets in the blood. If there were no platelets in the blood, then what would have happened? This would have caused loss of too much blood from the body of a person, leading to death. Therefore, blood is needed by all the parts of our body because it performs the following important functions in our body. Number 1, blood carries digested food from the small intestine to all the parts of the body. Blood carries water to all the parts of the body. Blood carries oxygen from the lungs to different parts of the body. It carries the waste products, carbon dioxide from the body cells to the lungs for breathing out, and it carries waste products called urea from the liver to the kidneys for excretion in urine. And blood protects the body from diseases. This is because white blood cells kill the bacteria and other germs which cause diseases. Dear students, please note that blood circulates in our body in two forms: oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. The blood carrying oxygen in it is called oxygenated blood, and the blood having no oxygen in it is called deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood is rich in oxygen and deoxygenated blood is rich in carbon dioxide. Oxygenated blood is bright red, whereas deoxygenated blood is darker.